What is up, my dudes? Nate here, and we are back with another exciting episode of Asagao Academy. And I'm joined once again by my friend Julia.
Hello, I'm still here.
She's still here. She hasn't abandoned me yet, despite my nonsensical rambling. And I just wanted to really quickly touch on the fact of like how much I relate to this character, because especially like that last scene in the last episode, she got ice cream spilled on her and was super embarrassed and ran back to the dorms crying. I have had a similar thing happen to me. I went and I was doing some volunteer work with my church to paint Christo's house, like where they were keeping where the people were staying at and everything. And we were painting rooms for them, and there was literally that like comical moment of somebody knocked a bucket of paint over and it poured all over me, and like we went and cleaned me off as good as we could, but the fact that it happened was embarrassing enough. And then my family didn't want to leave. They wanted to finish what we were working on. So I just basically had to sit there and just be covered in paint and look ridiculous. And it was super embarrassing. And I was like 16, I think, and I still was just like, I went out in the car. I sat in the car the rest of the time and bawled, and people kept coming out and checking on me, which made it so much worse. Because yeah, at that point I'm like, nobody talked to me. Just nobody talked to me. I've already embarrassed myself, and now I'm crying. Don't look at me. It was awful. It was awful. So social anxieties, guys. Lots of fun. So I relate so hard to Hannah right now getting the ice cream spilled on her. Anywho, we woke several hours later in a daze. I woke to my alarm beeping, feeling only dread of the hours to come. After the nightmare that was the ice cream incident yesterday, I never wanted to take another step out of my room. I curled up inside my blankets. As my alarm went off, it was only the second day of school. And I felt the same as I did every morning at home. Mai, of course, was already up, and I could hear her hair straightener clap shut every few seconds from across the room. I felt bad about letting the alarm go off for so long, so I slid my hand out of the covers to switch it off. Hannah? Hannah! Get up, sleepyhead. I know you're awake.
You don't know me.
I didn't even have time to poke my head out before Mai's body slammed onto the edge of my mattress, bouncing me up. She jumped from almost halfway across the room. Ha! You can't hide from Mai!
Sorry.
I was breathless, and I paused to calm my heart before speaking again. Are you worried about what happened yesterday? No one cares about it, Hannah. I almost forgot about it myself, except that I brought it up. Ignore that. She must have seen my face. She brought an arm around my shoulder and pulled me closer to her. For real, though, we're gonna go to class and no one's gonna even mention that you made a huge fool of yourself yesterday. Thanks, Mai. Great.
You know, what's interesting is that it wasn't even her fault. Like, she was bumped into.
Yeah, she got it spilled on her, and she's... Yeah, look, it wasn't... I didn't spill the paint on myself. Somebody else dumped paint on me, but the fact that I was covered in paint really embarrassed me, so...
Yeah, no, I get it, but, like, it just sucks. It's like, it's not even her fault, you know? Like, she wasn't even being clumsy.
And and theoretically, this whole school is just gonna be like, oh my god, that's the girl that spilled ice cream on it. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. You could have put that better.
I'm kidding. It might have been a big scene, but it totally wasn't your fault. It was Paul, alright? when you jump, you have to calculate your trajectory like I did just now. Oh my god. He practices advanced calculus and geometry, apparently. And actually, that would be trig. It's one of those.
Whatever.
I'm bad at math, guys.
I don't know math.
I'm terrible at
Hate
math, guys.
math.
To calculate a trajectory, I'm pretty sure that's trigonometry. Anyways, he could learn a lot from a master like me. Get dressed and cheer up. I could bottle up your gloom and sell it to a wizard. And what if he used it for evil? You can't let that happen, Hannah. This game is so, I don't know, I love the writing in it. It's ridiculous.
It has really specific scenarios.
Super specific. Like, who thinks of this? Her smile was wide enough to bridge a gap between continents. The beginnings of tears pricked the back of my eyes, but this time, they were for a different reason. A lesbian reason. I opened my closet and walked out, and tried to avoid looking at the sad lump of clothing inside, slathered with dried up ice cream. I only had 2 uniforms, which cost my dad an entire month's salary. Jesus! If I wasn't able to get the stain out of this uniform, what would I do?
I guess. It's like, it's just ice cream. Does ice cream stain? I guess chocolate could stain. Yeah, okay, I guess.
It probably was not good.
I don't know.
Also, she just took it off and left it to like dry and get all crusty.
Yeah, plus I guess she had rainbow sprinkles, and that rainbow sprinkles, they would have, or at least they had sprinkles. I guess maybe I assumed they were rainbow. Stuff. I don't know.
I hope it's rainbow sprinkles. If it's not, then what's the point? Sighing, I took my second uniform off its hanger and slipped it on as Mai waited impatiently for me. Ready to go?
I guess so.
Good. Just as Mai said, no one paid any special attention to me. Well, there were a few odd looks here and there, but nothing nearly as bad as what I was expecting. As the lecture went on, my anxiety for the most part faded. I took to staring out the window to avoid eye contact. A few boys were out on the field playing soccer. Wait, was that PBG? I scooted closer, trying to get a better look. Oh god, what did I do as her voice?
Probably something like...
Was it British?
I don't know.
It was probably British.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Hannah, I'll just talk normally, whatever. At the sound of my name, I leaped to attention. Leapt, probably. Leapt, probably is better phrasing, people. If there's something more interesting outside than samurai death battles, please feel free to enlighten us. You came here to learn, not to contemplate the scenery.
Yes, Miss Shizuka, I'm sorry. There was a cute boy.
There was hot dudes playing soccer outside. She turned back to the chalkboard and continued her lecture as if nothing happened. Oh, I know who this is. A few desks in front of me, a guy sitting next to Brutal Moose turned around and gave me a flashing thumbs up. And I can't think of his name. He's the hot one.
It'll probably tell us in a bit.
It's like, yeah, we'll find out. I don't know. He's the one that in real life I'm like, he's kind of cute. I made a face at him, unsure of what exactly he expected me to do. Then Ian turned around and socked him on the head. The other guy mumbled something to him, probably apologizing. Ian's eyes slid to me for a brief instant. Then he looked away. Were they looking at me because of what happened yesterday, or was there some other reason? I shook my head. There wasn't time for this. I had work to do if I wanted to keep my scholarship. After pages and pages of notes on Japanese history, it was nearly time for lunch. Okay, everyone is almost free to go. The work tonight isn't so hard, so don't grumble. You should work together to complete it if you have a hard time. Also, you may be aware the Flower Festival is coming up in a week and a half. This news was met with a few cheers as we started to pack up. Since you have the day of the festival off, our first exam will be the day before. There were no cheers this time. That's gone from British to, like, weirdly Australian. I don't know.
I know, I was gonna say, like, you solely added an accent.
Look, guys. I'm American, and I'm the worst, so just deal with it.
I mean, you're pretty good at Australian accents, though. That's pretty good.
They're just all blurring together, it's fine. Romance is wonderful, believe me. I know, but try not to let the festival distract you, okay? That is all, see you tomorrow. Miss Shizuka flashed a peace sign and winked as she walked out the door.
Do you think...
What a weird teacher. I'm glad the game thought the same thing. I'm like, that's kind of odd. That lecture was so boring. Mai walked beside me, a tray in her hands. We were shuffling through the cafeteria trying to find a seat.
Didn't you say that yesterday?
Probably. But it's for true today. But it's
for true today. It's alright.
I thought that sounded weird. I thought I read it right. Okay, probably. But it's true for today, too. It's for true today. Sounds like something you hear in the Goonies. Hannah, help me. I'm gonna die of boredom.
We have an assignment to keep us busy, Mai.
Oh God, you are... Hannah, you are such a wet blanket. We already have work to do?
How did you not hear that? I can feel for Mai.
Mai sighed dramatically, then leaned to the side and rested her head in the crook of my neck. Ugh. I reached up to... I reached up to pat her head a few times, but she straightened up before I could do it. Oh God, Hannah! Paul's walking over here. He's looking at you. Does he look angry to you? Why is he coming over here? Do you think he's going to kick you again? God.
Can you? What if he just came over and kicked her again?
The same Paul who humiliated me last night strode towards me. I instinctively backed away, but he kept coming closer. I'm glad I found you. He didn't look angry to me. In fact, he was giving me an odd, lopsided smile. I wanted to make sure you weren't hurt or anything. You ran off before I could properly apologize. I looked down at my feet. It wasn't embarrassing enough that I ran off crying like a little girl, but to know that I made him feel bad was even worse. At the same time, the image of my ruined uniform popped in my mind. I couldn't tell whether I was more angry or embarrassed, or whether I was feeling something else entirely. I got you pretty bad, didn't I? I think I ballerinaed too hard. Also, Paul sounds nothing like this, guys. But I just wanted to do this voice. Just deal with it. He tilted his head to the side. It's a shame you're not wearing the uniform from yesterday. I liked the pink splotches on you. It matched your hair. What
a weird thing to say.
It's like, is that a compliment?
I like those pink splotches, like...
I'll add some white ones.
Ew.
Oh dear. A deep, sick feeling crawled up from my stomach to sit in my throat. My dumb, stupid hair. Everywhere I went, people made fun of it. I thought
they're not fun of it, but I can understand where they're like, yeah.
It's so... If people bring it up constantly, it definitely feels like they're making fun of it, even if they
are. Even if they're just, like, mentioning it.
Yeah.
But
I thought the normal boots guys were different, and he was trying to apologize. How could he say something like that to me? Not for the first time, I thought of dyeing it to a different color, but I quickly dismissed it. So, when I read dyeing, I was thinking she's like meant killing herself. So I put a lot more emphasis on that than what was needed, but whatever.
That would be a dark turn for this game.
Not for the first time I thought of dying. Paul was waiting for a response. My giving me a quick nod as if warning me not to mess this up. I mustered up my best smile, hoping it was at least somewhat convincing. It's okay. I'm... Oh, it's you.
Yeah.
I'm stealing your lines.
It's okay. I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
Look, I get so into this. So invested in this story. Anyway, I'm more than happy to pay for the dry cleaning. Josh and Nick and I feel really bad about everything. We've never made a girl cry before. Well, not by physically injuring her, I guess.
Okay.
What
Thank
does that
you.
mean?
I don't. Thank you, but I was just going to scrub it in the sink.
Ooh, bad idea. Dad and I could never afford things like dry cleaners, so I was surprisingly good at hand washing things. That thing's going to need more than just hot water and soap. Trust me. Tell you what, I have a friend who's natural with that kind of stuff. I'll ask her to get the stain out for you. Just meet me later and bring your uniform, okay? I'll try not to kick you this time. Without giving me any time to say yes or no, he nodded and turned to leave. He spun quickly back around. I flinched. Are you and, Mai, right? Do you guys have a table? The cafeteria is pretty full right now. You can sit with us if you want. Just for today.
Just for today.
Yes! Yes, we'll go. Right, Hannah?
Say yes. Do it.
Lunch with the Normal Boots Club? Maybe I really could become friends with them. And then no one would bother me again. Not about my hair or the ice cream incident. Right?
Yes, please.
That's such an that sounds over eager. Yes, please. Yes, let's. I'll sit with you guys. All right, follow me, ladies.
Ladies.
Milady. He led us to the middle of the cafeteria where the Normal Boots Club sat with a table all to itself.
I'm like, oh, how do I do that voice again? Whatever. Hey, you found her. You're Hannah, right?
I nodded, blushing as I took a seat at the edge of the table next to Paul. Mai forced herself between Jared and PBG. Her eyes were only a few sparkles away from forming huge hearts. Real subtle. So, Hannah, we saw that you were upset, and we're all worried. Are you feeling better? PBG looked at me, clearly concerned. My heart was beating hard against my chest, but I wasn't sure whether it was because I was nervous or because the sad look on his face made me want to give him a hug. Or maybe it was because I was about 2 inches away from Paul and only an arm's length away from all the other guys. Wink. As I tried valiantly to open my mouth.
Where is this going?
Whispers sped around the lunchroom.
40 girl. Look at those girls over there!
Apparently the sporty girls from Dragon Ball Z.
Is that what it sounded like? That's really funny, I'm sorry. I mean, yeah.
Who do they think they are? I dig it though, keep it up.
I remember that we had like Snooty Girl, I think we've done before maybe, but I don't know.
I have no idea.
How come they get to sit there? Damn it. No.
I wish Senpai would notice me.
Now I don't want to do it because God. Main characters get all the luck.
Suddenly, my thoughts turned dark.
Main characters.
That breaks the fourth wall. Jeez. Could it be that getting close to these guys, I was setting myself up as a target instead of getting protection? My thoughts spun in my head. I was suffocating. PBG was still looking at me, even more worried than before.
I'm fine. Thanks for your concern. Please don't feel bad. It was my fault for getting in the way. I'm sorry for causing such a scene. I should have controlled myself better. Dang.
I hung my head. I wasn't sure how to act around these guys, so I defaulted to extremely polite. My father would have been proud. Hey, Hannah, don't apologize. It was Paul's fault, right, Paulie?
Ollie.
Nick shoved Paul, who looked exasperated. Good word. I apologize as best as I could, Nick. Give me a break. It was a relief that PBG wasn't staring at me anymore. Almost no one else was paying me or my any attention. Shane, however, was still shooting me quick, suspicious glances. It was almost like he didn't want me there, and I felt uncomfortable. Did we do Gerard?
I have no idea.
No. I'll try Gerard, I guess.
I don't know.
How do you like it here so far, Hannah?
Good. How about you? I hate that so much. I mean, I like it here. Thank you.
We've all been
there. I hate doing that. I hate it.
I think we've all been there. I love it whenever. I love it when people, like, I go through drive-thru and people hand me food and they're like, "Here's your food. You too." Oh.
Yeah, or like a movie where it's like, "Oh, like, have fun watching your movie. You too."
I've seriously walked out of class with. I've walked out of class and my teacher said, "Have a good day," and I said, "Love you too." Like, awful guys.
So bad.
Gerard smiled at me and then turned away. I picked at my food. The guys were all wrapped up in their own conversations, and Mai was busy preventing hyperventilation from being so close to Jared. I can feel his body heat.
Oh my god, she's so creepy.
Oh dear.
Can she smell him? Can she smell him?
If she's close enough to feel his body heat, I hope to God she can smell him. You doing okay, Hannah? A smiling Satch turned to me. I know we can be overwhelming. You're fine, right?
Yeah, I am. Thank you. Thanks for recommending that book, by the way. It's been really good.
Do you like it? That's great. I figured you would.
It's really funny, but the narrator's annoying. Yeah, Nate. I'm just kidding.
Gosh! Yeah, he can be a bit rude.
Yeah, he can.
He pushed up his glasses, then grinned at me. You were pretty quiet, but I knew there was more to you. I winced.
Sorry, I can be a bit of a wallflower. I don't think I've ever heard anyone, like, call themselves a wallflower.
There are perks to that, though.
Shut up.
No need to apologize. I'm sure we've all been wallflowers before. But that reminds me, the Flower Festival. He turned to the group, addressing them all as if on cue. They all suddenly turned to pay him attention. Who are you all taking this year? Right, the Flower Festival. Miss Shizuka mentioned it before.
They're all gonna ask her. What is the Flower Festival? No one's explained it to me yet.
It's basically just a festival. Didn't you have those at your old school? We didn't have festivals at my old school, but they were basically just 40 kids grouped in one. We did have festivals at my old school, but they were basically just 40 kids grouped in one room, sharing snacks they brought from home.
Well, we had something kind of like them, but I stopped going.
Aw, why not? They're so fun. I didn't really want to answer. There was no way I could say, well, my friends turned on me, so I went. When I went, people pretended I didn't exist.
Aw.
Yeah, we're gonna find some dark past. Jeez. But Mai was waiting for an answer and everyone was looking at me.
I'm just not into that stuff, I guess.
Oh, well, maybe you'll like this one more. The Flower Festival happens all over Japan around this time of year, but it's a big deal in Higanbana. Alright. That's the town next to Asagao. There's apparently some kind of myth about flowers that's somewhat important. Flowers are actually, real talk, flowers are a huge thing in, like, Japanese culture. Supposedly, the founder of Higanbana was an old man who got lost in the mountains and almost died of thirst. This flower spirit came to him and offered him help in return for his vow to protect her home. He agreed and she drained herself of all her water so he could drink. The man founded Higanbana to watch over the meadow in which he met the flower. I don't remember this voice, but I'll try.
Okay.
In some versions of the myth, the man and the flower spirit fell in love. It's a truly romantic festival. One may hope to find someone with which to make a vow of eternal love, just as the man and the spirit did, and to live on to protect the one they love. Jared winked, and Mai swooned.
So during the day of the flower festival, there's a lot of stalls set up, and you can go play games and eat food, or go flower viewing.
I thought it said flower eating for a second. I'm like, alright, I guess.
It's a weird thing to say flower viewing, like, instead of just, and look at flowers.
I don't know. I don't know if English is their native language or if this is really weird. I don't know.
Then, at night, there's a special meadow over by the temple where you can go watch the flowers, and there's a bonfire and dancing. It's a lot of fun. We look forward to it every year.
Yeah.
Asagao sells paper flowers in a little booth to raise money for the school. For the school, too. So there's usually a big volunteer drive beforehand for people who are good at origami. Origami? I'm good at origami!
I'm actually good at origami, too. I've done a lot of it.
Oh, man, I suck at origami.
Anytime in high school, because I'm a poor-ass motherfucker, anytime in high school there was, like, a weird, like, Secret Santa thing, I was like, well, I can't afford to buy anybody a gift, so I'll make them some origami stuff. Because I can afford paper, at least.
Nice.
And then they'd always get it and be like, oh, thanks.
Aww.
That's all I could do. You know what? People deal with it. I don't know.
Really? Shane is too. Maybe you should work together.
Shane gave a tight-lipped smile. Somehow I didn't think that would be happening. Hey, speaking of, I swear you rejected 10 girls last festival season. I mean, that's nothing compared to me, naturally. But there were so many girls with broken hearts, even I couldn't mend them all. You still hung up on your English girlfriend? Shane flinched, visibly taken aback. Then he shrugged. I don't talk to her much anymore. Oh, Shane, I just want you to be happy, that's all. He wiped away a fake tear. Shane grimaced. How great would it be if someone asked me, maybe even if one of the normal Boots guys did. Nah, I doubted that it would ever happen. They were only letting me sit there because they physically assaulted me. I sighed and cut my beefcake with a plastic knife. It's not what I do with beefcakes.
Beefcake? What is a beefcake? Is it meatloaf? I don't understand.
I guess it's meatloaf. The only time I've ever used the term beefcake is to describe a hunky guy. So I never cut a beefcake with a plastic knife. That's not, I don't know. So, any girls in mind, fellas? Beside me, Mai shifted nervously. Her eyes kept flickering from Jared to her french fries. She looked like a child who stole several cookies. Jared spread out his arms and raised an eyebrow. A god waiting for names to fall into his lap. I'm thinking of going solo this year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Same. Man, you guys are boring.
Every time I'm like, what do I do? You aren't much better, man.
I'm on another level compared to you guys. I've already got my choice picked out. There was a quiet clattering next to me. Mai had dropped her fork. God, Mai, you're terrible.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. And it'll probably be a new choice tomorrow.
Jared flipped his hair with his hand. You know me so well. There's only so much time to make so many different girls' dreams come true. Such a douche in this. Guys, Pro Jared is actually a really nice guy. Seems like I don't know him in person, but at least from his YouTube videos, he seems like a nice guy. Not like a total douche nugget. I must find the one who is most in need. So it's not even about which one you like, huh? Nope. And you make fun of me? Just then, the warning bell rang. It was time to head back to class. It was also time for next time. So, don't forget, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Do all the sociables. Show Julia some love. I forgot to say that last time, but you should do that because she's still super cool. And stay tuned for more Asagao Academy, where we have lesbian stuff happening. Bye!